There is no shortage here of challenges, trends, and opportunities. But before I go into that answer, one thing I think that's important to hit on is that look at how much change is happening in such compressed cycles these days. It used to be way back that generations were anywhere from 21 to 25 years. Now they're going to about 15 to 20 years. And what we're finding, just in millennials alone and soon to hit centennials and Gen Z, is that these decades are covering too much time with too much impact. So they're really going to millennials that were before Facebook or before Snapchat. And there's just such a difference between a millennial that was raised around augmented reality or after that or before that. So we're really finding that actual generations themselves, and this is an important distinction, are going into micro generations. So if 40 years ago, we were looking at generations spanning anywhere from 21 to 25 years, and nowadays we're talking about 15 years. How fast, how soon are we looking at generations spanning only 5 to 7 years? I think that's going to hit easily in the next 10 years. So I wanted to hit on that because that's going to be important, oh gracious, from a business standpoint, as well as from marketing, products, solutions, and the like. But you had asked specifically about challenges and trends, so I want to hit on three or four here. First and foremost, while we're already feeling it, we're truly in a time of permanent tech revolution where the clip and pace of change itself, with each passing business quarter and with each new technology combining and integrating, is in and of itself accelerating. So what millennials and centennials as well are really going to have to deal with is how to keep not up to speed, no, ahead of this change, especially when it comes to people. Because while millennials are very good at change and very good at the art of the pivot and spinning on a dime, they're going to have to be very mindful that people across generations are not as easily updated as an app. So we're going to have constant reskilling, constant training, and constant looking to not what's new, but what's happening next. In fact, there's a reason that Google and Facebook and Amazon really resemble holding companies these days and are constantly buying up new companies in AI, in big data, and the like, because they're having to not only look to increase their market share, David, but to protect it. And that's going to come with not just staying up to speed, but getting ahead. So the trend here is the accelerated pace of change and how much more that's going to accelerate. But the challenge is staying ahead. So that's first and foremost. Pretty much everything flows from there. The second piece I wanted to hit on is intelligent automation. Now, this is going to span big data, it's going to span IoT, but it's really going to hit with robotics and AI. And millennials, right now we're saying to companies, you got to have a robotic strategy, and they're trying to understand what tasks, not full jobs, but what tasks can be automated versus which can't. But truly, when it comes to the next 5, 10, 15 years, we're going to need to work within what I call a model of intelligent collaboration, because there are certain tasks, number crunching, things to do with precision, heavy lifting and the like, that are better done by robots and robotic partners, as it were. But then there are also tasks and areas that we humans absolutely excel at: collaboration, leadership, strategy, heck, asking the right question of these different intelligences that will get us to the right answer. So that whole model of collaborating with intelligent automation is going to be both a trend, a big challenge, and just a huge opportunity for millennials. That goes into the third area I wanted to hit on. Right now, we still call it the quote unquote information age, which is funny if you think about it, because we're moving from data to insights and information into intelligence. So what millennials are really going to be focused on, it's going to be more of an opportunity than challenge, as it were, but it's that move we're making from the past 30 years of the information era and the information age to the intelligence era. Because it's not just the information and the abundance of, it's the insights, it's the intelligence. And we're going to be dealing with a lot of different intelligences, of course, human as well as machine. And lastly, the move from a focus on user engagement to a focus on delivering experiences. Attention is still what we're going to seek. That's not going to change. But what I'm looking to really get across to companies in all sorts of roles is the way that we're going to be courting, capturing, and maintaining attention and loyalty won't be from asking users to engage with more of their time, but from us in companies delivering better experiences, whether that's in a B2B and professional space or a B2C and consumer scenario. And whether it's, quite frankly, a big simulation in VR, and a really detailed third 3D world and the like, or whether it's just delivered in bite-sized chunks and experiences at the right time, the right place, and the right proximity. So those are the 4 areas that I really think are the challenges and the trends and the opportunities for both millennials, for sure, as well as Gen Z coming up on their heels quickly thereafter.